Content, eben wie am Anfang gesagt, ist einfach nur Interaktion mit der Zielgruppe. Und was wir schauen müssen, ist, erreichen wir die Zielgruppe damit und lösen wir positive Reaktionen aus und dann was machen wir mit den Signalen. Und je länger du das machst, umso mehr Touchpoints, umso mehr Vertrauen und hoffentlich auch umso mehr Leverage.
Ja, ich weiß, ich hab nie Zeit, es geht nicht immer nur um dich. Hast du was zu sagen, dann sag mir es ins Gesicht. Ja, du hast zu viel erzählt, jetzt hat dein Wort hier kein Gewicht. Früher warst du für mich.
What's up, friends? Happy Monday. Starting another video because Luca is here asking me to recover an email, but then I asked him how the kickoffs went because you had what? 1 or 2 kickoffs?
Today one.
1 kickoff so far?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Really good. Super nice client as well. Living in the UK, CTO.
So what's the reason he hired us? Why did he hire us?
He wants to develop thought leadership in the space, and he gets his clients, and he said 99.8, but let's say 100% of referrals, through referrals.
So no inbound aside from that?
No inbound, because he also doesn't do anything. So like he has no marketing, nothing like that. It's just him managing all the projects. And the argument that I now made, but also what I think is underlying, but he never framed it that way, is that he's mainly getting his clients through lunches and loads of WhatsApp communications. And now we're here to do that at scale.
We're gonna build up a content engine. But yeah, very interesting times. Luca is going more into client projects, at least ad interim, because we want to level up the project quality and the results for our clients and just set a new standard for what we can provide, which means that our 2 most skilled players in terms of being a content strategist and personal branding as a service, Luca, who's also our COO, and Max, who's our team lead content, they're both going more into the actual fulfillment of select client projects to level up the bar, to raise the bar, which means that they're gonna be much more in the trenches with clients, which means that they'll need support in handling some of the other things. For example, I am more in the trenches now in helping coordinate fulfillment on a higher level, maybe hopping on important calls where needed, but also taking over the newsletter management and all of those things. So very interesting times, because the goal really is, as I said, not just to increase the quality of our service and the results we generate, but also to then improve the quality of our core team and the quality of our content strategists. We're in a very interesting change process of cutting all the fat, trimming all the excess fat, because we don't want unnecessary recurring meetings. We don't want too many management layers. We just want to do good work, hold each other accountable, and grow together, and do that in a very lean and focused way. And putting these 2 key players onto more client projects is part of our strategy to be the #1 personal brand service provider who helps amazing founders and executives build profitable content engines. And that's it. That's the plan for the week. For me, that means right now what I'm working on is the restructuring plan for fulfillment. So for example, one of the changes we're making is that in order for Luca to be able to fulfill more projects and not get swamped, he needs someone to have his back in terms of picking up all of the internal requests, all of the questions from content strategists and project leads who would otherwise just reach out to him. So what we're doing is we're installing Hannah, our chief of staff, to be the one who filters through all the messages and to direct our team to Hannah first, and then she can escalate if needed further to Luca or to me. So those are some of the nuances on my mind right now. Otherwise, we're at almost 110k MRR, still 0 churn this year. And now for the rest of the week, I will finish our digital product, the Personal Brand Hub. It's coming along beautifully. Chef's kiss also to Max, who helped a lot there. I'm gonna send out a new newsletter format I'm gonna share with you once I get to it. I have client contract negotiations, I have a couple of sales calls, I have a keynote on Friday for a university in Austria, internal meetings, content creation, new sales outreach process, a bunch of topics. Hope you get a lot of value from it. And now let's get back into it. Classic, more out of it, so to quality.
If we know that, okay, topic X, say it's like a tactical piece or a tactical piece of this topic, generally, or it produces on average like 1 to 2 leads in a span of 6 months that we posted over, at a certain frequency, right? Because essentially what we're doing is trying to predict behavior by reverse engineering, okay, what topics do we post, how often do we post them, and then how long does it take, or how many touch points does it take for a lead to actually convert, right? Or then I think what will be interesting is also looking at a lead itself and looking, okay, what pieces did they touch, right? And in what time frame did they touch these pieces? And what's like the distribution of the different pieces? Like, do they interact with personal posts? How many personal posts did they interact with? Maybe how predictive of them becoming a lead was them interacting with that personal post. Then the same for like tactical or posts or case study posts, something like that. So just kind of like throwing ideas out there, what my thought process would be. But I think that's also kind of what you're going for, right? Is just kind of like being able to predict what a lead will do and what it would take, what touch points it will take, and how long for them to convert.
Happy Wednesday, team. So, running a business comes with a lot of challenges and a lot of difficult decisions. And right now, or one of the most hard things is the topic of hiring and firing and building a killer team. And so, yeah, we have just a couple of decisions to make around who to keep, who to give more chances to versus who might just not be at the level that we need them to be, but also giving people the chance to improve, which makes it extra challenging because, especially in an agency business model, at least I assume, it's very tempting to say, well, this person is good enough for these projects, so they are carrying profits, so we can just keep them there, right? And we can give them maybe more easy projects if they're not good enough for more important projects. But then if we do that, we're keeping a standard lower in those projects where we could have someone who's better, maybe do a better job at these projects with less effort and raise the standard. So that can be, a dangerous trap of having things that are just good enough and on paper, they still are carrying revenue and profits, but maybe they're holding us back still. But then how do you transition those from the agency projects to someone else because they are potentially, managing the client relationship? So yeah, we have a couple of those topics right now and we need to make decisions, and that also, of course, can create like some friction or like heated discussions between, in this case, Luca and I, because, we have different point of views. But the good thing is that friction actually is a positive thing. And I believe that this confrontation is actually helping us come to better decisions and challenge one's assumptions. And every time we have these heated discussions or this friction, we come out stronger and more aligned thereafter. So that's an interesting learning as well, to actually not seek harmony, but actually to seek confrontation and to embrace it. And then, of course, also to make the decisions that are right, rationally, not emotionally. That's the theme right now. I'm going to get back to finishing up the newsletter, and then I'm going to take Leonard through some DM management in my LinkedIn account, because that's the number one way that we book meetings for the agency, is through my personal LinkedIn account by following our accounter team. So I want to just look over his shoulder, coach him a little bit, and make sure that he's doing it right and give him some feedback on things that can be better. That's it for now, and then I'm going to finish digital product. Dude, what's going on, dude? Huh? Pissed?
Yeah.
Auf wen?
Auf mich selber.
Warum?
Not good enough. Not fast enough, not smart enough. Not getting enough shit done. Gotta get faster, Mia.
That's Michael Jordan Energy.
Gotta get better, Mia. Ja.
Das sind die Signs of a Macher. Hast du was verkackt heute oder was?
Nein, im Gegenteil, aber es ist einfach so, I don't feel good enough doing it. Gut, ich meine, faktisch habe ich auch seit 6 gearbeitet ohne Pause.
Happy Thursday, team. Going very well. Now, big sales call. Let's get it.
Hallo, hey.
Hello, hello. Hi, Mirko.
Hi.
Schön, dich kennenzulernen.
Ja, ebenfalls. Michael kommt gleich.
Wunderbar.
Aus einem anderen Termin jetzt schnell rüberspringen.
Passt. Wo bist du gerade?
In Berlin.
Ah, cool.
Du bist in Riad, korrekt?
Das ist unser gemeinsamer Kollege von Michael. Ich bin gerade in Barcelona,
okay.
Aber ich bin auch mit meiner Base in Berlin. Also von dem her. Hi Michael.
Hallo Michael.
Hier die Key Message ist vor allem die Zielsetzung, die immer spannend ist. Also wir haben eigentlich 3 Ziele, die die meisten Partnerinnen verfolgen. Erstens geht es einfach nur um Visibilität im Zielmarkt und einfach Brand Awareness overall, das wollen alle. Aber dann nochmal eine Stufe genauer, entweder geht es um B2B Sales oder es geht um Recruiting. Das sind eigentlich die häufigsten Probleme. Hubert Romberg, der hat verschiedene Ziele, die er über die Zeit anders priorisiert. Also zu Beginn ging es darum, Leads für Cree-Buildings, einer seiner Portfoliofirmen zu generieren, und danach mit der Zeit ging es jetzt mehr um Recruiting für Romberg Bau. Und so können sich die Ziele über die Zeit entwickeln. Den Head of Business Applications von Swisscom, den Omar, den ich angesprochen hatte, der ist jetzt seit 3 Jahren Partner bei uns und immer noch. Bei ihm geht es nur um Recruiting und Employer Branding. Und der hat einfach Leute über LinkedIn eingestellt, und für ihn ist auch LinkedIn auch der wichtigste Kommunikationskanal, sogar für interne Kommunikation. Und das ist so, wie er jetzt auch das Investment begründet und weiter mit uns zusammenarbeitet. Aber das sind so die häufigsten Ziele. Was jetzt Michael, du und ich letztes Mal besprochen haben, waren auch im ersten Schritt Visibility im Markt und Positionierung von. Habt ihr da weitere Ziele aus der Kommunikations- oder Marketingsabteilung, die ihr hier in dieses Thema auch mit reinnehmen würdet?
Call's done. Sent some follow-up emails. About to get dinner with Luca and Elena here from Barcelona, friend of ours. And I still have a keynote to prep for tomorrow morning, which I'm thrilled about. But I think I can keep it casual from how I've been briefed. It's just gonna be 30 minutes. I'm supposed to talk about my story. So I'm just gonna go over how many slides I actually wanna bring with me. But also 2 closed deals this week. Selim Butchu was cooking.
Dun, dun, dun. Welcome, party people, to another episode of Closing Deals with Selim. Today
So you also call yourself Selim.
That's the tricky part. I don't know how to call myself, and I think I'm also confusing other people with it. But hey. So maybe today with this video I can clarify it finally. So my name is Selim in German. In Turkish it's Selim. In English it's Selim. So now you guys have to tell me how I should pronounce it.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Selim.
Like German? Selim?
Selim.
But that's also just because it's natural to you, and that's how you met me.
What did you sell them?
So, joined our incubator program, which is basically a personal brand setup sprint with everything done for you. First content batch done for you, so you get a real feel of high quality content produced by our incredible team. And then, if that's successful, he's more than happy also to stay on board. So it's a remix actually, something that I did for the first time, basically creating the incubator offer for 2 months, and then in the contract there is a 2-month break clause. So if he's not happy after the 2 months, he can just stop it. But if he's happy, we will continue on a rolling basis with a 3-month cancellation notice. So go forth with regular personal brand takeover, setup sprint, and then after our content engine process. Super excited about this case, actually about both. And yeah, I mean, I got verbal confirmations lined up, waiting for quotes to be signed. So I keep you posted.
Ich muss mich ändern, doch ich will es nicht. Ja, sie sagt, dass sie mich kennt, doch ich brauch mehr Raum für mich.
You don't have to say it. In einem Satz, gell? Also wir helfen gerade im B2B-Segment den Gründern und Executives, Content-Maschinen zu bauen, die ihnen Touchpoints mit ihrer Zielgruppe ermöglichen und dadurch einfach mehr B2B-Leads oder Mitarbeiter anziehen. Also ganz einfach, wir bauen Content-Maschinen um Menschen herum, die dann eigentlich zu einem Content-Ökosystem werden sollen, das sind viele Buzzwords, für ihre Unternehmung. Das heißt, wir sagen eigentlich, jede Firma muss eine Medienfirma werden heute, weil die Zielgruppen einfach Zeit auf Social Media verbringen. Und wir sehen halt die Menschen als die neuen Brands. Und deswegen interviewen wir Menschen und sorgen dafür, dass wir die Inputs der Menschen bekommen und daraus dann gute Social Media Inhalte für sie generieren. Und darauf basierend machen wir einen Sales-Prozess und Recruiting-Prozess auch für sie. Das heißt, zum Beispiel, das ist mehr als ein Satz, aber vielleicht Kontext, wie wir zum Beispiel Kunden anziehen für uns und unsere Kunden. Wir machen so als Positionierungs- und Strategiearbeit, das machen wir über Tiefeninterviews und dann gibt es eine Strategie, einen Redaktionsplan, die Ghostwritten Posts, Videos, die wir editieren. Das heißt, wir sind eigentlich ein externes Content-Team. Und das größte Problem, was die meisten Kunden haben, ist Zeit. Also gerade die Busy Executives und Gründerinnen haben keine Zeit dafür oder da fehlt der Skill fürs Copywriting, fürs Video-Editing, was auch immer. Die sind einfach im Content-Team extern. Dann posten wir für sie, wir vernetzen sie mit der Zielgruppe und was dann passiert ist, der Sales-Prozess entsteht dann dadurch, dass wir Signale mit der Zielgruppe generieren über die Personenprofile. Das heißt zum Beispiel, was wir bei mir machen, ich poste 5-mal die Woche mittlerweile, also wir haben bei mir das Volumen ziemlich hochgefahren und generiere dadurch im Schnitt 50.000 bis 100.000 Impressionen die Woche und dadurch entstehen Profilbesucher, 500 bis 1.500 die Woche und mein Sales-Team, also ich habe einen Sales-Mitarbeiter, einen Appointment-Setter nennen wir ihn, der geht in meinem Namen in mein Profil rein und schreibt die Leute an, die zu unserer Zielgruppe gehören. Und er schreibt ihnen, hey, ich habe gesehen, du hast mein Profil besucht, wie wurdest du auf mich aufmerksam? Und so generieren wir im Schnitt 5 bis 10 Termine die Woche über mein Profil. Und on top of that haben natürlich unglaubliche Brand Awareness, die entsteht. Und dadurch kommen mittlerweile auch etwa im Schnitt 5 Webseiten-Termine noch mit dazu. Und das Einzige, was wir marketingtechnisch machen oder gemacht haben die letzten 3 Jahre, war auf LinkedIn zu posten bei mir. Mittlerweile haben wir noch 4 weitere Mitarbeiterinnen, die posten. Wir haben einen Newsletter, den wir 2-mal im Monat rausschicken. Und ich mache die wöchentlichen YouTube-Videos. Aber alles mit einem Marketing-Team von mir und einem Teammember. Und sonst ist alles nur bei uns Fulfillment und ein Sales-Mitarbeiter. Aber genau das Gleiche machen wir für unsere Kunden. Ja, diese Diskussion habe ich seit 5 Jahren, also auch das Selbstinszenierungsthema. Der Unterschied ist einfach jetzt, dass LinkedIn halt so boomt wie noch nie. Also wir haben auch so viele Anfragen wie noch nie und viele sehen es mittlerweile als notwendiges Übel. Niemand muss mehr überzeugt werden, warum man das irgendwie machen muss, weil da ist halt die Aufmerksamkeit, sondern es ist vielmehr, wie mache ich es, so dass es auch etwas bringt. Das ist jetzt eher die Frage. Und vor 3-4 Jahren musstest du sie erst noch überzeugen, warum jetzt Personal Branding oder LinkedIn Sinn machen könnte. Die Diskussionen haben sich da enorm weiterentwickelt und es ist oft schon das Zynische, ja gut, muss ich wohl auch Selfies posten auf LinkedIn? So ein bisschen dieses Mindset. Und dann ist halt die Frage, verbringt die Zielgruppe Zeit darauf? Und wenn die Antwort ja ist, dann müssen wir einen Weg finden, um die Zielgruppe zu erreichen. Und gerade wenn es um Sales geht, man kann halt viel machen auf LinkedIn, dass man sich mit der Zielgruppe vernetzt, dass man Werbeanzeigen schaltet an die Zielgruppe. Und man kann dann auch über Tools wie Clay, also C-L-A-Y, kann man diese Signale exportieren, zum Beispiel die Profilbesucherinnen, die Content-Interaktionen, wir nennen das eben Signals. Und dann kann man das Sales-Team aktivieren, dass sie zum Beispiel auch Cold Calls machen oder eine E-Mail schicken an die Personen oder an die Firmen, die mit dem Profil des Gründers interagiert haben, weil die haben das jetzt schon top of mind, die kennen sie ja vielleicht schon ein bisschen. Das heißt, Content, eben wie am Anfang gesagt, ist einfach nur Interaktion mit der Zielgruppe. Und was wir schauen müssen, ist, erreichen wir die Zielgruppe damit und lösen wir positive Reaktionen aus und dann, was machen wir mit den Signalen? Und je länger du das machst, umso mehr Touchpoints, umso mehr Vertrauen und hoffentlich auch umso mehr Leverage.
Keynote done, went great. My favorite part, honestly, with these sessions is just when they get engaged and then they just start asking genuine questions and feeding their curiosity and challenging certain things. And then I get to just speak my truth and talk from my experience. And since I've been in this content game for 7 years now, I have a lot of experience, a lot of reference points, and I'm not afraid of not knowing the answer. And so I love teaching, especially in an interactive way. More of that, please. If you want to sign me for your next class, lunch now. Digga, was geht denn bei Selim? Digga, das ist ja witzig. Was geht bei... Das ist ja crazy. Das ist ja crazy. Das ist ja crazy, was da abgeht.
Das ist ja crazy.
Das ist
100 Grams of proteins in mein...
My friends just sent out the new quote for an existing client of ours who we are upselling into the ongoing service. So what we did with her was we took her through our personal brand incubator, which meant that we first did a setup sprint done for you, where we took her through our signature process of hosting a deep dive interview with her, developing her media strategy, developing her content archetype and editorial plan, pre-producing content for 2 months, and then transitioning into consulting her and her team into managing it themselves. However, after doing this for 3 months and also over-delivering with doing 1.5 months on top of what was originally agreed upon,
we realized that they need just done for you support. And I checked in with her yesterday, just gathering feedback on how it's been going. And the way I do this is first we go through the report, so the stats, the metrics, and also the qualitative insights we've gathered from the project so far, as well as calling out the challenges we've experienced, potentially also working with her, and then calling out opportunities that we see to continue working together. And as I went through that process with her yesterday, first off, she gave fantastic feedback. She was super happy. She was actually getting 1 or 2 leads already through the LinkedIn content, and was just happy with the feedback she's been receiving and how little time it took her to actually get content out that felt authentic to her. But she does want to continue working with us and not take things in-house as originally planned. And so what I pitched her now was the light version of our personal brand takeover service, where we take care of everything on an ongoing basis through a monthly content call and then ghostwriting and video editing, as well as coordinating the content calendar with her company marketing team. So just send that out. I use HubSpot right now. Recommend because you can just create simple, nice quotes. You can add the purchase terms in there. We always have 2 or 3 month cancellation notices with our clients. And you can also collect e-signatures, which is the biggest reason I like using HubSpot. Before we also used Soho invoices, which is okay, it's just not as clean and elegant as HubSpot. And so that's why we got the HubSpot sales starter plan. Quite expensive, I think it's $70 or so for it. Worth it for us. They also have a startup grant that used to cost like $35. But yeah, send that out. Let's see if we can lock her in. Would be nice. Selim closed 2 more deals yesterday. Luca is doing a content call right now with a client of ours, which is our flagship process to get fresh input from clients so that we can actually create content from them that is authentic and true to them. Max is taking out trash. And now, next up, I'm gonna send out another quote to a potential client that runs a huge social media agency in Berlin, working with big brands, so more classic, traditional agency model. And they want to start founder vlogs with a repurposing machine on top of that. And since my vlogging process has been going so smoothly and we've now built a little YouTube video SWAT team, we are pitching them to build up their YouTube channel. And that's exciting because they will be perfect for it. It will be another case study for YouTube as a service. I think we could kill it for them, and I think the process can go very smoothly. So I'm gonna, in this case, not go into HubSpot quote yet, but rather a Notion page where I summarize the what, why, the how, and then the options of working with us. Send that through. With them, I'm also gonna record a Loom because it's very much a non-pushy sales process that I'm also doing with them, because I kind of also saw this pitch process as an opportunity to build relationships with them, which we did. We got along very well. And so I'm gonna record a Loom so they hear my voice talking over the offer, emphasizing that it's a pilot. So we might have to raise prices after 3 months or not, but it's a risk for us because it could become more intensive than anticipated. But excited for it, finish it up, send it through, and then check in with another client who we're in the process of upselling to see if he already has some feedback for us. Review some content for my personal brand. We have a team call. Fridays with Notus, our Friday checkout call. Every Friday, it's the only team meeting we have that is, required and recurring. Then I have a sales call, a closing call with our fractional automations consultant type person who's helping us automate some of our sales process. One-on-one with a team member, clean up some DMs on my LinkedIn account, and emails, small stuff in between. Hope I can get work done by 8 p.m. today so I can have dinner. I know the boys want to go to Soho House because there's a little event there. I'm not going to drink tonight, that's for sure, but maybe I'll join for a little bit of music and good vibes. Otherwise, just chill. Organize my sister's birthday present because it's a birthday tomorrow, and then on Sunday it's Max's birthday, so we gotta have a super fun weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, taking the whole day off and just indulging and taking things easy. And then Sunday brunch and prepping the week. It's gonna be a big week. We got the team offsite, Barcelona team offsite coming up. Yeah, wild times, fam. But we're making amazing progress. We're hitting all of our revenue milestones so far. Like, we're right on track, but I'm keeping it stoic because tomorrow everything could be flipped on its head. But I'm optimistic. And now
let's finish up these proposals and get things going.
Ja, sie weiß genau, dass es keine Wiese gibt. Ja, sie sagt, ich muss mich ändern, doch ich will es nicht. Ja, sie sagt, dass sie mich kennt, doch ich brauch mehr Raum für mich.
Our team had a very good meeting with Macklin, who's helping us set up our sales automations. And yeah, we're cooking. We're setting up a whole new sales motion that will help us and our clients get more leads and more revenue based on the content engine that we're already doing and providing. But more on that later. Then I had a call with Uma about attribution and tracking where our leads are coming from. And she just fixed it, so shout out to you, Uma. And what is sick, the takeaway is that this week I sent out for the first time a more casual, unplanned newsletter where I told the story of a case study, and then at the end I gave a very subtle call to action of PS, if you want the same results, book a demo here. And the goal was to book 1 to 3 demos with that email and see if we can book any demos at all. And now Uma just figured out how to track where these demos come from through UTMs, and we actually see the source inside of Calendly, and turns out we booked 2 demos from that email. That is sick. So hey, that actually worked. I'm gonna do more casual newsletters. It also led to 30 unsubscribes, which is a bit more than the usual unsubscribes we get with our normal Content Founder newsletter, which for context, until now we send out a bi-weekly newsletter. We call it the Content Founder. It's a media format, always the same structure, value dense, my favorite links of the week, non-salesy at all. It really is like a media product, and we do that twice per month. But it barely books any demos, and I just figured, hey, maybe we can do more casual newsletters in between the 2 weeks where we're not publishing anything to see if we can book some sales calls through email as well, with the email list that is now about 4,000 people. And so I tried it this week, and I just wrote a case study around Victoria Klich, a client of ours that we work with. We grew her from 300 followers to over 10,000 on LinkedIn. We also turned her into a LinkedIn top voice and helped her blow up her business. She now runs a Web3 VC fund, venture capital fund, and also a co-working space in Berlin. She's an awesome human being. We would have never done this work and gotten these types of results if it wasn't for her skill and her personality. But so the subject line of my email was, she grew to 10K on LinkedIn and became top voice in 1 year. Then I just say, hey friend, it's Marvin here. Today I'll show you the system we use to take Victoria from 400 to 13,000 LinkedIn followers and top voice in just 1 year. I inserted a picture of us, and then fun fact, she was one of my first clients. Laria was a wild journey, but her founder brand became her most valuable asset. Here's how we did it. And then I walked people through the 3-step process. Phase 1, positioning strategy, questions we answered. Phase 2, content engine, how we set up content calls to generate LinkedIn posts. And phase 3, media expansion, how we also launched a podcast and a newsletter with her, and how that led to all these amazing outcomes. And then I say at the end, excited to see where she goes next. Thanks for the great collab. PS, want us to build your personal brand like we did for Vicky, book a free consultation and we'll dive into it. That was the experiment. Sent it out 2 days ago, and we actually booked 2 demos, which I only get to see because we now have the tracking through the UTM links and Calendly. And that's that! Now, it's Friday, 5:42 p.m. Call just got cancelled, so I get to catch up on closing loops faster and then call back my girlfriend. So we're on a roll. Closed 2 deals this week. The fulfillment team is fucking crushing it and giving it all, and it's fun. So let's keep it moving. What's up, friends? It's 7:34. Just reviewed some of the vlogs and got my Slack and email to inbox 0. And now the last thing I really gotta get done today, and I've been like postponing this shit for fucking 10 days now. Is to clean up the CRM, and I've been really dreading this today too, because it's really the last loop. I just gotta close before I can say take a break, perhaps get a snack or even go for a run, but gotta keep the CRM clean, especially if I expect my sales team to do the same. So right now I'm just going through Close CRM, which is the CRM we use, and I'm just adding all of the contacts I haven't added yet and all of the opportunities I haven't added yet, and then adding the meeting notes I wrote, as well as the crisp recordings, because we use crisp, K-R-I-S-P, to filter out background noise in meetings. So that's handy when you have a call, when it's a bit noisy, but also to get the transcript and the audio recording of the meeting, which is super valuable for internal feedback. So I'm adding all of that, going through my calendar and just making sure all of the sales calls that I still had are in there. And then I get to take a break. But until that's done, No sirski. But to get the mood up, the energy level up, let's play some music. Close CRM up to date. Also just prepped the next newsletter we're sending out next week. Checked out my YouTube stats, which is always fun and cool to see that we're reaching most people in Germany, then the US, then Switzerland, then UK. That's the top 4 audience. Very nice. Shout out to all of you. And now catching up with the beauty herself. Little co-work, little vibe. Say hey vlog. I'm starving though, so let's get some food and wrap up this video. Yeah, starving Marvin. It's been a good week. We closed 2 deals. We booked sales calls. We made progress with our tech tool. We're working hard, especially the fulfillment team is fucking going overtime. So massive, massive shout out to all of you from the team because marketing and sales is really just 10% of what we do. 90% is client delivery. And I'm lucky enough to have a team now to have my back so I can focus on the marketing and sales side together with selim. Then everyone else is pretty much just crushing it in fulfillment. And so, yeah, that's the theme. We're locked in. Next week is the offsite. Tomorrow is Saturday. We're going to take tomorrow off. Sunday, celebrate Max's birthday and prep the week and then rinse and repeat. Offsite coming up. A lot of things coming up. I feel blessed. I feel hungry. So that's that. Appreciate you all. See you in the next one. And